Drink a little water. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Strictly. I'm back with another video. First things first, I know I'm late. How was your Labor Day weekend? I know your Labor Day weekend was good. You know, I had to hit Atlanta. Saw some family. But I'm back. So, everybody, let's talk about the greatest basketball players of all time. You know, a lot of people gave their list on who's the greatest basketball player of all time. Well, this is my perspective. So today, I'm gonna give you my top 15 greatest basketball players of all time. Shall I continue, ladies and gentlemen? Number one, this man needs no introduction. I said this in numerous of videos. Whenever I talk about this specific player, um, I grew up. Like I said, I'm 23, so I grew up in the 2000s. I came. I grew up in my era, the time that I was, introduced to basketball, NBA. I was in between the um, Kobe down years, and the LeBron era was kicking off. Right, so we're talking about 2006, 2006, 2006, I could say in between 2006 and 2008 is where I started. And this guy is the greatest. And when I mean the greatest, he's the greatest of all time, in my opinion. I remember on my birthday, was January 18th. We're talking about last year. I remember 8 days later, I went to the Pro Bowl with my dad. And it was a lot of foolishness that transpired. You know, people was just protesting against Michael Vick, saying that he was a dog killer. But when telling them about Roethlisberger, they said, well, that don't exist, right? So that's another. If you understand that full situation and my hypocrisy between Michael Vick and Ben Roethlisberger video, if you haven't checked it out, please do. But this man, I thought when a lady said that this man died. She said this man died. You know, we didn't believe him. You know, going through the internet. But when it was confirmed, it was like, wow. And the guy I'm talking about is the late great Kobe Bryant, who I always say he's the greatest of all time. People like to compare him to Jordan. Yeah, but like the wise words say, the student is better than the teacher. Kobe's mentality was out of this world. I can care less about what people say about Jordan mentality. Kobe mentality was out of this world. A lot of people say, oh, well, Jordan better than Kobe. Oh, Kobe stole Jordan's moves. Kobe took Jordan's moves and he crafted into his own. So basically, he seen what happened. He seen the footwork that Jordan had. He used that and then developed into his own person. The difference between Jordan and Kobe is that Kobe, when everybody left, the Lakers, Phil, Shaq, almost everybody. Whenever I argue with a Jordan's fan, I always tell that Jordan's fan, I said, listen, man, who kept the lights on for the Lakers when everybody left? Kobe, right? So exactly. So I don't want to hear that bullshit talking about, oh well, Jordan never had a person, never had people criticize him, never had never had people leave the team, and he didn't keep the lights. I'm sorry. Number two, I'm gonna say number two in my opinion is Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was the most hated, and this is like before KD. He Allen Iverson was the most hated person in the NBA. The NBA didn't like his style. They didn't like the swagger that he brought to the court. And some of you guys may not know, he changed basketball. He changed the perspective of basketball. He changed the dress code where everybody had to wear suits at that time. Cause he came in baggy. He was wearing baggy clothes. He had the cornrows. He had a whole lot of tattoos. Um, the NBA tried to stop that, but look at it now. You see a bunch of Allen Iversons. The person that I consider close to Allen Iverson, who reminds me of Allen Iverson, is Kyrie. And I know some of you guys may look at me like I'm stupid, but like I said, this is my perspective and my list. Kyrie is the next Allen Iverson. I've seen the crossovers. I've seen the mentality that that both AI and Kyrie have. I've seen it, and they want it bad. The difference is Kyrie won a chip, AI didn't. AI is more skilled. Kyrie is skilled, but he's not skillful than AI. If you catch my drift. All right. Number three, I say Isaiah Thomas. The real Isaiah Thomas. No shade being thrown. Bad boy Pistons. I know Cino considered him as the greatest basketball player of all time. And shout out to Carcino. Shout out to Carcino. You guys check out his channel, Carcino for Life. You guys go to his channel. Kwame Brown, Bus Life. Shout out to Kwame Brown, Ticket TV, SB Sports, SB Sports, Seahawks Jose Rodriguez, Vicky Dilliard, Philip Scott, Avasho TV, and the Philip Scott Experience. And last but not least, Big Bro, HD. Welcome to HD TV. Isaiah Thomas. I haven't seen Isaiah Thomas play. I've seen a couple clips, and Isaiah Thomas, to me, if he's not the greatest, if he's not the greatest, if he's not the greatest, he's one of the greatest point guards of all time. Of all time. Like the man, the man was an alpha. The bad boy Pistons. He had a chip on his back. He schooled Jordan. He embarrassed Jordan. The NBA did not like Isaiah Thomas and Bad Boy Pistons because they was a trendsetter. They was more physical. They didn't care who was in their way. And it's kind of funny how they hated the Bad Boy Pistons when it comes to the Celtics that did the exact same thing. We gonna keep it on hush, but that's another time, another day, another video. Number 4 is the Big O, Oscar Robertson, Mr. Triple Double himself. Like I said, I was not there. I wasn't even thought of when Oscar Robertson was playing. So all I can say is, he's Mr. Triple Double. He played with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and the reason why I say he's number 4 is because of the fact that he's more he's more of a technician. You know, he could ball, of course. He could ball. Um, Triple doubles. This man was a killer on the court. He was. Number 5 is KD. It's KD. What? Yeah, Kobe. I mean, my bad. KD. I have KD on my list at number 5. KD is unbelievable. You talk about a man at his height, and I know a lot of people say, "Oh, they never seen a man his height could ball like that," and that's true. KD's number 5 to me because KD, I I sort of resemble KD in a way that a lot of people would talk down. It's enough is enough where you just like, I'm tired of it. KD don't talk ish. KD balls out on the court. He he proved everybody that he's better than LeBron. He proved that. But the media and everybody don't want to give this man his just due. People will say, well, he went to the 73-9 Golden State Warriors team. At first I felt some type of way about that. I felt like he should have went to the Spurs, but that's just me. But I understand why he did it because of the fact that of Russell Westbrook. I would say Russell Westbrook was 25% of the problem. 75% was management. Remember, they was too cheap to pay James Harden. James Harden left. Years later, down the line, Oklahoma City was making noise, but they didn't go back to the finals ever since. They got rid of Serge Ibaka. They didn't bring help for KD and Russ. They didn't bring. You telling me a team that was 3-1 against Golden State? Against Golden State, and all of a sudden they lost in Game 7. And like I said, 25% of it is Westbrook because Westbrook was trying to do too much. Westbrook was breaking, and Kevin Durant was tired. Kevin Durant was tired because he had no help. He's guarded all 5 positions. What if I'm Kevin Durant and I'm guarding all 5 positions? I'll be tired too. Hell, shit. And we seen last season when Kyrie was out, when James Harden was on his last leg. KD was pushing his team to win. Even though they lost, he shed his sweat, blood, and tears to get Brooklyn to win that game and try to push them to the finals. If it wasn't for his shoes being big, Milwaukee would have went home. And that could have been Brooklyn win that championship, to be honest. But Kevin Durant is a killer, and I feel like people need to give his just dues. Stop with the bullshit. Give this man his just dues. Put your bullshit to the side, media. Stephen A. Smith, um, Undisputed. I can't even say Undisputed. First Take. All y'all clowns that's in ESPN, all y'all clowns that's on YouTube that want to discredit Kevin Durant. Yeah, I'm talking about y'all. Give this man his just due. Don't wait till this man died and then just say, oh, Kevin Durant is one of the greatest and he's better than LeBron. Like, First Take asked that dumbass question. Was it First Take or yeah? I think it was First Take and Undisputed. First Take was like has KD. Now correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Correct me. It they asked a dumbass question: Is KD better? Has KD dethroned LeBron James? Now my thing is, what kind of dumbass question is that? You seriously asking a dumbass question? Yes, he have. LeBron should have retired. Like everybody said, LeBron should have retired when he won his chip with Cleveland. He should have retired. But LeBron wants to break the all-time, you know, record by Kareem. And he probably will do that. But that's stats. My thing is stats are whack. Who gives a fuck about stats? It's all about your performance. It's all about what you do. And people love to bring up championships. Oh, LeBron got 4. Well, I can't. Well, I'm biased with the bubble. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give that. LeBron won 4. Kevin Durant won 2. Like we give a fuck. Championships don't define a person's legacy, especially a superstar like Kevin Durant. But I'm getting too ahead of myself on that one. Number 6, I'm gonna say Akeem Olajuwon, Dream Shake, and I seen clips how he embarrassed Shaq, and what amazed me about Akeem is his footwork, his post game, but his footwork, how he embarrassed Dave Robinson. Did ah ah. His footwork is what amazed me, and that's why I have him at 6. Number 7, Will Chamberlain. Will Chamberlain is, if not one of the greatest center, and you could say player of all time. Will Chamberlain was a dog. He was athletic. For his size, he was very athletic as a center. We talking about a man that almost fought Muhammad Ali. He bench 600. Will Chamberlain was strong now. He was strong. He averaged 50 some points. He averaged 50 some points, 20 some rebounds. Who does that? Will Chamberlain. But see, people want to talk about Jordan is better. But my thing is this: even Will Chamberlain, and I shout out to Will Chamberlain. God bless. Rest in power, brother. But even Will Chamberlain, even I said the same thing. Jordan is not the greatest. Will Chamberlain said, "Jordan, how can Jordan beat me? Wait, he's gonna try to dunk. I will block that. He's gonna run down the court. I'm faster. He cannot beat me. If he was in my area, he definitely can't beat me. He can't beat me. Elgin Baylor, Jared West. Will Chamberlain was a freak of nature. You hear me? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, number 8. Kareem, Mr. Skyhook, was a monster. I seen his highlights with the Lakers, not with the Bucks, but with the Lakers. The man was in his late 30s, was still balling. Now, people basketball athletes, they be in their late 30s, they start slowing down. Kareem was an all-star. He still was an all-star when he was in his late 30s. People don't give Kareem Will Chamberlain, they're just dudes. Now, if I had to rank, if I had to say who's number 1 as far as Lakers center of all time, I'm gonna say Will. Kareem is second. Shaq is like third, in my opinion, and like I said, it's my opinion. We looking at 8, right? 8. Okay. Grant Hill And some of you guys might look at me like I'm retarded. Yeah, I said Grant Hill. Grant Hill, before he was hurt, he was D Rose before D Rose was even thought of. Grant Hill, before he was hurt, was a monster. Grant Hill, to me, is one of the most underrated basketball player of all time. And people don't give him his just due. People just focus on his injury. People, look at look at how he was before the injury. Before the injury, you could say, damn man, he was better than Jordan. Even Isaiah said when Jordan retired the first time, the keys was handed to Grant Hill. And the fact that the reason why what stopped it was his injuries. But before his injuries, this man was a beast. And I need some of you guys need to stop focusing on this man's injury, trying to say, oh, he's not Hall of Fame worthy. Oh, he's not worth being in the Hall of Fame. Yes, once again, you journalists out there at ESPN and some of you content creators, some of you idiots out there will throw the fact that he kept getting hurt. People, do your research. Look at how he was before he got hurt. Damn it. And I feel like that's going to do the same thing with Derrick Rose. They're going to say Derrick Rose not worth being in the Hall of Fame because he kept getting hurt. Look at the fact before he was hurt. Y'all focus on the negative instead of the positive. Y'all, come on, man. Like, anyways, number 9, Tracy McGrady. Tracy McGrady is a freak of nature, but Tracy McGrady was very skilled and very athletic. Tracy McGrady lived in his cousin's shadow. Some of you guys might not know his cousin. His cousin is Vince Carter. When they was on Toronto, Vince stepped onto the scene and Vince was lighting it up. Mr. Highlight Reel, Mr. Dunk. That was the greatest dunk of all time. Vince Carter was balling out in Toronto. Tracy came out of high school. Tracy was athletic, but he wasn't developed. You know, Tracy had to develop, but people focus on Vince. So Tracy, and some of you guys might not know the reason why, and I'm going to go back to Isaiah Thomas. My bad, but Isaiah Thomas was very smart, has a great basketball IQ. He knows talent. He recognized talent. He was the one that drafted Vince Carter, drafted Tracy McGrady, built that Toronto team when they had Muggsy Bogues, Charles Oakley, McGrady, Carter, some more guy, Antonio Davis. That team right there was dangerous, but they was inexperienced. Except for Charles Oakley, who was way past his prime. Tracy McGrady left Toronto. Tracy McGrady said, I don't want to be underneath my cousin's shadow. I'm going to Orlando. And see, people say Tracy McGrady wasted his prime in Orlando. That's a yes or nay. But here's the thing, though. Originally, Tim Duncan, who is number 10 on my list, Tim Duncan was supposed to be with Orlando. It was Tracy McGrady, it was Grant Hill, and it was going to be Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan did not go to the flipping Magic because Doc Rivers' dumbass said when Tim Duncan allegedly want to bring his family with him, to the games and stuff, Doc Rivers said no. What an idiot. And what happened? Tim Duncan started winning more championships with the Spurs. Even Greg Popovich said he was terrified that Tim Duncan was going to leave to go to Orlando. Terrified. But when Tim Duncan came back, he had a sigh of relief. Now imagine Tim Duncan, and I'm going to number 10. Now imagine Tim Duncan was with Orlando, with Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill, Grant Hill was hurt. You got shit. You got Tim Duncan. You got Tracy McGrady. Or cost himself a dynasty. They cost himself a dynasty. And you gotta blame that on Doc Dumbass Rivers. Tim Duncan to me is the greatest power forward of all time. Great basketball IQ, very skilled at his position. He's not a selfish player. He don't care about stats. He's all about winning. Even though he's quiet, he is going to get it done. He was like the Kawhi Leonard before Kawhi Leonard stepped onto the field. And when I mean that, I mean he don't talk smack. He leave it on a court to back it up. That's what I mean. People say, well, Tim Duncan, he's a system player. Tim Duncan, if he would have joined Orlando, it doesn't matter. He was going to ball. Y'all always got to do that bullshit. Oh, he's a system player. This is why I don't see. This is why I just one ear out the other. All right. Number 11, KG, Mr. Big Ticket himself. KG was very athletic at the power forward position. If I had to rank top 3 power forwards, no, top 5 power forward. You know what? F that. Number 12 is Dennis Rodman. Thank you. Shout out to HD again. HD has Dennis Rodman as his 3rd greatest basketball player of all time. I have Dennis Rodman at 12. Dennis Rodman was once in a lifetime talent. People love when you talk about Dennis Rodman, they bring up his antics. They barely talk about his basketball skills. Dennis Rodman was the reason why, Michael Jordan has his last 3 rings. He was the reason why. Even George Karl said, shit, he thought Dennis Rodman was going to be Finals MVP. But the NBA didn't like Dennis Rodman. They didn't like Dennis Rodman because Dennis Rodman didn't give a fuck. Dennis Rodman, all he wanted to do was be left alone, want to ball out. But see, people want to criticize Dennis Rodman off the court. Now, that other stuff, I'm going to leave that alone. Dennis Rodman had a rock and roll lifestyle. That's Dennis. And Dennis was pulling chicks too. Boy, you held Dennis. But Dennis is the greatest rebounder of all time. The person that reminds me of Dennis Rodman is, I always thought was Draymond Green. But the closest I could say Ron Artest. Both of them are very similar, but Ron Artest could score. Dennis Rodman don't give a fuck about scoring. Dennis Rodman will get you rebounds. He gonna play defense. Dennis Rodman, if he was in this era, Dennis Rodman will average between 20 to 30 rebounds per game. With ease. Dennis Rodman could guard all 5 positions. That's what I keep trying to tell people. He made Shaq foul out. When Shaq was way in his prime. He made Shaq foul out. But Dennis Rodman was more of a mastermind. He is gonna get in your head without getting in your head, if that makes sense. He puts the fear in players. He caused people to frustrate. He frustrate people. And that's why I like Dennis Rodman. Because Dennis Rodman won't give his all. Dennis Rodman could easily score. He can easily score, but he don't care. All he want to do is just get rebounds, play defense, and help his team win. That's all. Number 13, big ticket, Kevin Garnett. Very athletic at his position. Kevin Garnett was, at that time, Kevin Garnett was the top 2 power forward. At that time, I'm talking about 2000s. Um, you know, Kevin Garnett was almost traded to the Lakers, but Boston pulled it off. Um, for a man like Kevin Garnett to lead the Minnesota Timberwolves at that time, they were subpar. To lead them to the playoffs and then led them to the Western Conference Finals when they lost against the Lakers, I think, in Game 5 or Game 6. Once again, correct me, guys, in the comment section. You know, um, he won MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. You know, it's KG. I mean, there's nothing else to say about KG. Um, Number 14. And I don't care if you guys criticize me or what I'm about to say at number 14. Number 14 is Jordan. Yes, I know. I know y'all call him Black Jesus. I know. He's your God. I know. I know. But Jordan is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, he's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Um, Jordan was to me, a bitch. I like I like it's funny to me how people like to talk, you know what I'm saying? I play spade for spade. LeBron, man, listen to man. LeBron James, and like I said, I grew up in the Kobe era leading to heading to LeBron's era. 06, 08 leading the down years of Kobe and and LeBron was entering into his prime. That's the era I grew up in. LeBron is a spoiled brat. LeBron is a bitch stick. I'm sorry, but he acts like that. You know, I criticize him based off his performance on the court. But let's talk about Jordan. See, people don't want to call it Jordan. Jordan ran when Bad Boy Pistons whooping his ass. Jordan ran to David Stern, allegedly. And that's how the Jordan rules came out. Because he didn't like how the Bad Boy Pistons was eating his ass up. And why you think there's a reason why it's called flagrant foul? I think Jordan. But Jordan, for a person that got cut from his freshman team and kept grinding and grinding and grinding and grinding, I respect Jordan's skill, his work ethic, because he didn't settle for less. He was a straight alpha, straight leader. He was all about winning. He had a winning mentality. I feel like what he did to Kwame Brown, shout out to Kwame Brown, I feel like that was bullshit because of the fact that Kwame Brown was already drafted number 1. So he already have a bullseye on his back. For Jordan not to teach, not to mentor Kwame Brown the right way, people like to call Kwame Brown a bust. And to be honest, I highly disagree with them because what do you guys consider as a bust? Kwame Brown, to be honest, Kwame Brown to me was a decent basketball player. Did he have potential to be an all-star, to be one of the greats? Yes, he did, but he did not get the right teaching, the right coaching. Imagine Kwame Brown had a Greg Popovich type. Kwame Brown, we would consider Kwame Brown as one of the greatest players or greatest centers to lace up, you know. But besides that, Jordan's skill set is undeniable. You know, his influence, his legacy has transcended. You know, you see some of the guys now, he's not even in the league, but people all over, you know, Jordan, his legacy stands out. Skill set, everything. Attitude wise, he didn't give a fuck. He had a swagger. When he stepped on the court, he put fear in opponents' eyes. You know, that's why I don't like Jordan on that level as well as personal, but I give respect. I give respect to where respect is due. And you'll never find another Jordan like that. People say Kobe, but I'm not gonna repeat myself. You have to watch it from the beginning of what I said about Kobe and Jordan. Number 15. Number 15 is LeBron James, ladies and gentlemen. LeBron James. And some of you guys may look at me like I'm retarded, but LeBron James is number 15 on my list. And people gonna say, why is LeBron late? Great. Why is he 15? I never seen a person like LeBron size, LeBron can pass. I do not put him in the category with the Kobe's and Jordans, like these bums out here. LeBron is in the same class as Magic. LeBron reminds me of Magic. Damn it. LeBron reminds me of Magic. LeBron reminds me of Magic and the comparison is they both could pass, but LeBron is more of a scorer than Magic. Magic is more of a floor general than LeBron. Magic is gonna set his players right. LeBron, Magic's leadership is way higher than LeBron's. LeBron is more of a lead by example. When Magic was losing, Magic was helping his team. Magic kept getting better and better, was trying to help his team win. When the pressure's on LeBron, you barely see LeBron handle that pressure and not quitting. You rarely see that. LeBron could pass. He could pass. And when LeBron gets pissed, don't get me wrong, when LeBron gets pissed, you see LeBron playing right. LeBron has that Mamba mentality. Like I keep trying to tell people, he has that Mamba mentality. It's just that LeBron is one of these people, he has it, but he wants to dumb it down to please somebody. He has the potential. He has what it takes to be great. He has the Mamba mentality, but instead of not using that, he decides, he wants to please people. These same people criticize you, saying that you won't win a championship. Skip Bayless, I respect Skip Bayless because Skip Bayless keep that same energy. And if LeBron stop worrying about what other people saying, stop worrying about pleasing the audience who don't give a fuck about you, and start unleashing that Mamba mentality that he has, then I'm telling you, then we can consider LeBron as, probably like top 10, But yeah, he's number 15. He's number 15 on my list. And that's my top 15 greatest basketball players of all time, in my opinion, my perspective, my list. But hope you guys like the video. If you agree with my list, leave a comment in the section. If you guys don't agree with my list, I'd like to hear you guys' feedback. I'd like to hear your perspective. Once again, this is my list. This is my opinion, my perspective on my top 15. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This is your boy Strictly. I'm out. Peace.